Good evening. I'm Susie Paradise. I am an animal communicator and a certified pet loss grief counselor, a registered nurse for 27 years, and a best-selling author. Because I understand how devastating it is to lose an animal who feels like a part of your soul, I help pet parents receive clarity, recognize continuing signs, and move through the grief process without feeling like they're leaving their pet behind. Through my private readings or grief counseling sessions and therapeutic books, I help people and children understand that true love never dies. It just changes form. Have you ever looked into your pet's eyes and known that they were trying to tell you something, but you couldn't understand what it was? Would it give you peace to know what your pet was feeling before they crossed over? Would you want to know whether your pet is still connected to you from spirit? Have you ever wondered whether the signs you're receiving are truly coming from your pet? I understand that feeling because I've also loved an animal so deeply that the thought of losing that connection was unbearable. And that's why I wrote my book. I've been where you are. The hardest part of losing a pet is not only their physical absence, it is being left with unanswered questions, guilt, and the fear that the connection has disappeared. Those unanswered questions can keep a person replaying the final days, wondering whether they made the right decision or whether their pet understood how deeply they were loved. Imagine replaying that uncertainty with peace, feeling that the relationship did not end. It simply changed form. That's why I have created this space, my private animal communication sessions, to help parents receive meaningful insight, understand the signs around them, and to find peace in the continuing bond that they share with their animal, in spirit or on the earth plane. I also have a 6-week grief counseling program for those struggling with the devastating loss of a soul-connected pet. Don't let the end define the beautiful journey. You'll receive 6 weeks of consistent support so you're not left alone after one emotional conversation. We go through the 5 stages of grief. As a certified pet loss grief counselor, animal communicator, and best-selling author, I have helped thousands of pet parents find the answers and the emotional peace during some of the hardest moments of their lives. Clients often tell me they finally understand the signs that they have already been receiving and feel less guilt about their pet's passing. That's why I have even started my line of children's coloring books, therapeutic coloring books, to help the tiny heart. All the sessions are 45 minutes for the grief support. You have time to focus and receive the answers about your grief from your pet, from me, and you will receive a workbook for each stage of grief. You can return to those messages when grief makes it difficult to remember anything. The program includes the grief journal. Clients can process emotions privately in between those 6 sessions and track the healing over time. I'm always available for my clients. You want to know that your pet understood how much you love them, correct? And you would rather receive clarity than continue to carry the unanswered question in your mind. Did they know? And having a compassionate space to process both the spiritual connection and the grief, wouldn't that feel very supportive when sometimes those around you are not? That's exactly what these sessions are created to provide. After losing my own soul pet, Jack, I realized that the most painful part was simply not missing his physical presence. I felt robbed of the time that I thought we had left. I needed to know whether our bond still existed and whether the signs that I felt all around me were real. That's when I embraced my ability to communicate with spirit. That journey showed me that love doesn't disappear when the body leaves. That connection changes form, but it continues. I inherited my ability through my grandmother, who was also a psychic. Grief is no longer felt like a locked door. It became a relationship that I could continue in a different way. That is why I now help other pet parents understand their own continuing connection through animal communication and pet loss grief support. I've created this sacred space for you guys because I know what it feels like to love an animal so deeply, and then losing them changed my entire existence. My clients' search for answers taught me that the bond doesn't end with the physical death. Today, I help pet parents receive clarity, recognition signs, and move through that grief process without feeling that they must let go of the love. Most recently, one of my clients came to me carrying tremendous guilt about their dog's final days. However, during our work together, she received the reassurance that she had been desperately seeking and began recognizing the signs that had already been showing up around her and surrounding her almost on a daily basis. That's the kind of emotional shift that my sessions are designed to create, from guilt and uncertainty to connection and peace. I keep meeting pet parents who were not only grieving, they were carrying unanswered questions that no traditional grief support addressed. They wanted emotional healing, but they also wanted to understand that the bond that they felt still existed. That's why I combine animal communication with pet loss grief support. You can check the link in my bio and you can book a session. There are over 13 digital products and appointments in my Stand store. Choose the program that best fits you, the support that you need. So click the link in my bio and follow, share this with someone who's hurting from the loss of their soulmate pet. And don't forget, children need to grieve. Don't dumb down their feelings. They will grow up insensitive, cold, and unable to handle death. These books have been made for parents to interact with their children in a positive fashion, to embrace the fact that true love never dies. It only changes form, and they forever live in our heart. Unless, of course, they reincarnate.